Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Speakin Sports Live. I'm your host, Thilyn Morgan, and today we're going to be talking about the events that happened between NXT Stand and Deliver and both nights of WrestleMania 41. Roll the intro. Once again, everybody, welcome to Speakin Sports Live. I'm here with
Rinaldo.
I'm Evan.
I'm Roland.
I'm Ethan.
And today we're going to be, like I said, we're going to be talking about the events from one of the biggest gates of WrestleMania history with WrestleMania 41 and this year's Stand and Deliver. So Stand and Deliver, you know I'm a big NXT guy. We started off the night with the NXT North American title match against Ricky Saints against Ethan Page, with my boy Ricky Saints actually going on top again. And then it happened with the NXT tag match with Hank and Tank defeating Fraxium. For the first time in a while, they actually got themselves a win. Then the next match we had was a 6 women's North American title ladder match with Sol Ruca being the third defender of the women's North American title. And then Dark State, the knockoff Shield, defeated the D'Angelo family in a 6-man tag match. After that, it was a fatal 4-way Women's World Championship match against Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, Jada Parker, and Jordan Grace. With Jordan Grace, Stephanie Vaquer having a fantastic win, with the main event being a triple threat NXT World title match against Obafemi, Javon Evans, and Trick Williams, with Obafemi getting the win. Can I get y'all thoughts on any of those matches?
I actually have thought. So, with Ricky Saints coming from another company, do you think he deserves this title run so far with how soon he's getting it and coming from the other company?
I would say he would practically deserve it since he basically vented out his frustrations during his time in the other company. But at the same time, he actually proved himself to actually handle that position. And that's the main thing I really liked about him. Did you want to say anything, Ethan?
Not on NXT. I'll be on. No, I don't got.
Okay.
I do have one more question too. Do you think the D'Angelo family splits with, I can't remember his name
With
completely.
Sax?
With Sax turning?
I feel like they are teasing them kicking out Sax since he has been slacking on NXT lately. He sort of cost he almost cost Tony D'Angelo the North American title at one point. And then he ended up losing it in a steel cage match against Shawn Spears, I think. But at the same time, I kind of do feel like that they might just turn on Sax. But even if they do, I really hope that Sax actually finds his way on his own. It actually gets his get back on Tony.
So, and then also with NXT, do you guys see, after this loss, do you guys see Trick Williams moving up to that main roster? Because I feel like he's been at NXT so long, and his career has kind of been disappointing so far there.
I think he's ready. I think he's been ready to move up. I just think the storylines he may have been in recently just have been disappointing.
It's highly likely that he would get called up, especially with there's many wrestlers that could get called up by now, which kind of makes me worried about the roster for NXT. Because y'all saw the women's division there, right?
Yeah.
People like Jordan Grace, Stephanie Vaquer, Roxanne Perez. We already saw Julia and Roxanne with last night's episode of Raw, which, honestly, there wouldn't be that much.
I think they're gonna have to. I think they're gonna have to move into a time where they mix SmackDown, Raw, and NXT more often with the rosters, because I feel like people on NXT, with how many people there are in terms of talent, there's not going to be enough spots for people that might deserve it.
Right.
So I feel like you kind of have to bring more attention to NXT and kind of maybe bring some main roster people to NXT and really...
Not even the main roster, too. We got to remember that the WWE does have a contract with TNA, so those wrestlers from TNA also can come to NXT and to that main roster.
Vice versa, too, as well, right?
And we saw that a few times. I think Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley, they was on TNA just a few weeks ago. And we even saw Trick Williams attack Joe Hendry with the TNA World Championship.
I mean, even now, I'm going to bring this up again later, but we just had the TNA champion on a title card match at WrestleMania, which is a great accomplishment for Joe Henry. But great to see, you know?
A big impact for TNA in general. Honestly, that was one of the main things I really liked about it. Cause I was laughing hard when I saw Joe Hendry at that entrance ramp, bro.
He's so over, and it's so great to see. Everybody loves his theme song. They do the wave your hands, the clap. It's amazing. Everybody does it.
Just like he did. I really love Joe Hendry. But then next is one of the questions I really want to talk about. Because like we said with the call-ups, with Fraxium losing the tag team titles at Stand and Deliver, do you think that they could get called up to the main roster sometime soon?
I think I see them splitting before they come up to the main roster. I think that maybe they could split and have a singles run or have a good feud between them two before they get another title run on the main roster or even on NXT.
I'm drawing a blank here. Who was Trick Williams with? He was with a tag partner a while ago.
That was Carmelo Hayes.
Right, okay. So Carmelo Hayes, sorry, I don't know why I was drawing a blank. Carmelo Hayes moved up to the main roster. And that was, what, like a year ago now?
Close
was it
to,
more? Or was
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, it was
might
a
have
year
been-
ago.
might have been slightly
So
over
I
a year.
feel like I was expecting Trick Williams to move up maybe a few months after Hayes did. And I feel like it's been kind of overdue now for Williams.
I feel that. But still, he did some more things in NXT.
Yeah.
Some of them were underwhelming, just like his match with Ethan Page at the CW debut. But honestly, I feel like it was worth it because he actually got himself some more star power there. He had some more exposure for the NXT brand, and just all good things in general. And then one more question before we actually talk about WrestleMania. With Ethan Page's loss against Ricky Saints, do you think that he would still be somewhat in the title picture, or would he just be moving down the card?
Honestly, with Ricky Saints, I like what he's done at NXT so far. Like, again, I said, does he deserve that title run? Maybe, maybe not, but I think Ricky Saints definitely moves up to the main roster soon, honestly. I think he's one of those main caliber guys that can be in the mid-card of the main roster.
Okay.
Is that it? I don't have anything else to say for NXT.
Is that it for NXT?
I guess that's it.
All right,
Sounds
so
good to
now
me.
we're going to move on to WrestleMania Night 1. I can tell you're very excited. We're going to start off with the first match, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship title match. Jey Uso versus Gunther. Jey, obviously, getting the win. How long does Jey have, how long do we think Jey is going to hold on to the title?
I'd give him 2 months.
2 months, really?
It's crazy, I know, but
I'm gonna
still.
boost it up. I'm gonna give him 6-ish months. No, not like that.
I'm gonna give him
6, 7
I'm
months.
gonna give him 7
7
months.
No, I'll give him 6 months.
I think at the most, he'll hold it till SummerSlam.
Really? I honestly didn't think how long he would hold it for, really, to who he would lose it to. Because, honestly, I think very soon we'll see Braun Breaker come into the picture.
Or we can actually see Seth try getting the title off of him.
Seth getting it back again, yeah.
This might be a little over, like looking too much into the future, but could we see Seth win the title and then maybe Braun and Seth go at it? Like, I'm talking way down the line.
Yes.
This faction breaks up.
Yes.
You know,
I
bet.
Seth.
At some point,
I
too, even if we go with that storyline, I feel like Braun could beat Jey, and then Braun maybe hands it over to Seth.
I would hate to see
or
that.
like, yeah, we'd hate to see it, but it's the truth because it really Seth manipulates people, so it could happen.
Yeah.
I think someone who's definitely owed a title reign still with that title is Drew McIntyre. I think because after last year when he lost to Damian Priest, after Damian Priest cashed in, he still never got that title reign, and I think Drew definitely should have beaten him at Clash of the Castle, and should have lost to Gunther at SummerSlam, but they obviously didn't do that, and I think Drew McIntyre still owed a title reign with that title.
Where do you guys think Gunther goes to after this?
Well, he's just attacked Pat McAfee and
Yeah.
like calling them.
That-
So
that's
I think
what I
they're-
mean.
That is
He would
a
probably have his own independent run without the title.
They're gonna have him go on like these
I do believe
rampages,
that's-
attacking people backstage.
I believe that's a fight
you know.
rumor.
McAfee and
I
Gunther.
believe that's a fight rumor. I saw it on somewhere.
See, who'd McAfee
I
fight?
wouldn't like
Aldis
it.
made it official last night.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
That's actually a match.
It's actually a match at Backlash.
I didn't know that.
Gunther
That's surprising.
at McAfee.
That's surprising.
Dude,
I mean-
it's gonna be like a Michael Cole fight. You remember those?
Yeah.
Michael Cole used to fight. It's gonna be like those.
I mean, at least
Very
McAfee is
long.
somewhat.
Against
Jack
JBL?
Swagger.
He's gonna be
and
doing
Michael
those
Cole's
drum
corner.
taps on his back.
This, oh man, this is gonna be a fast match, man.
It really is, bro.
It's sad too because maybe once we hear like, if it's a street fight, here it's this, maybe that,
It's
that
definitely
yada
not
yada
gonna be a
yada.
street fight.
Maybe Pat McAfee has some sort of backup, but until then, it seems like a 30-second match. Gunther, one power bomb, it's over.
Just
You
an
know what I mean?
absolute-
Unless there's a way other people get involved to help
Yeah.
McAfee.
Unless it's like
I
an
mean,
NFL
who
player.
knows?
But even then, I
Who
think
knows?
that the
maybe Michael Cole gets involved.
It's kind of weird, but I mean, even no matter what, Gunther has to win this because they have to keep pushing him. I mean, he's a former heavyweight
I don't
champion.
think-
He has to win this match.
I don't
mention one
necessarily
of the
it's a
top
must
guys
win.
in the
I
league.
just think it's like it'd be stupid to have him lose the match more because it's like it's no offense to Pat McAfee, but it's Pat McAfee. you
I
know,
think
it's-
someone's definitely going to come out and save Pat McAfee after the match or whatever.
Definitely not Cole.
Definitely, yeah.
Not cool.
I don't know. I can
Wade
see
Barrett.
Michael Cole getting
Wade
power.
Wade Barrett.
Oh yeah.
If he's in shape to still wrestle,
No,
it's possible.
I doubt it.
I don't
I
know.
doubt it.
He probably got that Papa gut on him.
Yeah.
Shit, who knows?
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the second match of night one of WrestleMania, the World Tag Team Championship match between the War Raiders and the New Day. How long do we think the New Day are gonna hold the titles? And what are our overall thoughts on New Day winning?
It was a really underwhelming win
I
for
was
me.
on my phone a little bit for half that match.
Yeah,
it was a
same,
little
same.
boring of a match for me.
Yeah.
So we were all on our phones this whole match.
I mean,
Yeah, I
honestly,
thought that was a boring match.
Honestly, though, I like this New Day heel turn. It's very entertaining to see them on the mic as bad guys, with them being good guys their entire career.
I pay more attention to them now than I would have when they were good guys.
I agree with
because,
that.
10, 12 years of
Yeah.
the same thing.
Because they can talk how they want to talk. They don't have to put that good guy act on, honestly.
Yeah.
So, with them, how long do they keep this title? I think maybe I give it a couple weeks, honestly, because
That's
there's
crazy.
so many tag teams in their division on Raw, on SmackDown that anybody could go for it, and I think they hold it maybe 2-3 weeks, honestly.
If Fraxium comes over to Raw and actually challenges them for the titles, I'd probably give them until like SummerSlam or Money in the Bank for them to hold the titles.
I could see them losing it at a pay-per-view. I
Yeah.
could see them holding it to like a pay-per-view. or
One
two.
thing I will say, obviously we'll get into other matches in a second here. One thing I will say about all the matches, I feel like all the people that have won, you could see them losing at any moment to anyone, so it kind of brings an unpredictable nature to it, which I like personally, because when you have people like Cody and Gunther, you're like, oh, like Sami Zayn's probably not going to beat Cody Rhodes. You know, people like that, you're not going to see
Yeah. Yeah.
upsets against those guys. With Jey Uso, he could, I think personally, as much as he might be established now, I think he could lose to like almost anyone. Same thing with the New Day. I think they could lose to almost any tag team if WWE wanted them to.
Right.
Want to move on to the next match? Okay. So we're gonna move on to the Jade Cargill versus Naomi match. How does Bianca play into what?
back.
How does Bianca play back into the story, and who comes out on top between the three of
Honestly,
them?
I don't think she's going to play back into it. I think they're over with it.
It would be kind of unnecessary
Yeah.
for her to actually go back into the fold.
I believe at some point though they have to maybe not play her back in the story, but involve her at some point, just because Bianca considers Jade her best friend and Naomi her best friend. So if her two best friends are wrestling, I mean, she has to pick a side
Gotta
eventually
pick.
and help one, you know? Like at some point, if
Yeah.
those two have another match, it's some type of street fight, cage, bloody match, Bianca's gonna have to come out and help one of them get the dub over the other
Right.
at some point.
I really felt like there should have been a triple threat between the three of them at some point, but
I think the problem with that,
Maybe, but again, I think Bianca was more on Jade's side so far, more than Naomi, but I would like to see a triple threat between the three.
Yeah. We're gonna move on to the next match, the WWE United States title match. Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. Does Jacob deserve this title?
Yes.
I think so.
I think so.
I'm happy he won something because he hasn't even been pinned yet. Like, he is probably the most protected, arguably the most protected wrestler that WWE has right now.
Word.
He's really over.
Well, we got to think about it
fans
too. I
love
mean,
him.
coming from
With
that,
good reason too.
coming
Yeah.
from that Anoa'i family, Roman Reigns wasn't pinned for a really long time too. So if we consider it, does Jacob have a title reign such as Roman's universal title reign?
I wouldn't.
But, like,
I
with
wouldn't
the
say
US
that.
title?
I wouldn't say that
Yeah.
long.
I mean, he's that guy.
I could
though.
see
He's that guy.
I could see the US him having this title for like a good reign. Like,
I'd give him.
I could see him doing it like
8 to
how
10 months of the title.
how Gunter did with the Intercontinental. I could see
Yeah.
Jacob
similar
holding
to
it for
that,
over
or
a
maybe
year.
like until next year's WrestleMania.
Honestly,
I could
I
see it
think
being
I think by the time he does lose it, it's time to put him for a world title.
Oh yeah, that's normally what giving people like
Again,
these
too,
titles
though.
normally does.
Word.
If Jacob ever does lose this title, I feel like it has to be because of Solo Sikoa.
Yes, yes,
Solo has to cost him the match in some way.
Which seems like
form.
that might be a match
Yeah.
soon.
Yes,
Definitely.
honestly,
would like
cost
that.
him the match and they go at it. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That would be nice.
It would definitely sometime around even like SummerSlam season. That could be a big match for that pay per view.
Yeah.
Where does the bloodline go from then, though? If
Like
they
the new bloodline.
even the old bloodline, how do they play into that? Because I mean, both of them love their family no matter what. They do everything they do for their family.
I wouldn't think that they have to involve the old bloodline into that match. Because if anything, if I saw how that match would go down, Jacob Fatu would have to go against somebody like Damian Priest or Drew McIntyre for the championship. Solo, he accidentally cost Jacob Fatu the championship. They end up arguing with each other for a few months. Then they end up having like a huge brawl for something.
I mean, yeah, because you think about it, now that Jacob has that title, it's like the next, I mean, when he loses the title, that's going to be the first person that beat Jacob, right? So so we're going to move on to the next match of Night 1 of WrestleMania. We have Rey Fenix versus El Grande Americano / Chad Gable. Chad Gable or El Grande Americano getting the win. What story comes next for both of these wrestlers?
Rey Fenix, he gets stuck in LWO. El Grande Americano, aka Chad Gable. He's basically still about to be doing that Spider-Man
think-
persona, trying to prove that he's not
I
who
think
he is.
I think Chad Gable is one of the most underrated wrestlers, like current time right
Can
now.
I say something about Chad Gable? This is going back to last year. It should have been him versus Gunther instead of him versus Sami Zayn. That's where they messed up, in my opinion.
Could have been a triple threat.
That too.
I'm
But
just a huge
I
fan of triple
think-
threats. What can I say?
I get
I
what
think
he's
last year-
I get what he's saying. I think it should have been Gable beating
Yeah.
an IC reign
He
over
should have
Sami.
walked out of WrestleMania
Yeah.
with that title.
Definitely.
That's where they
I
messed up.
would've
'Cause
been happy.
I remember even further back when it was right before Gunther was about to beat the longest, about to beat the record for longest Intercontinental title.
He holds
reign.
the title.
They had that match versus him and Chad Gable. But I love that match. That was like one of the best matches I had seen all year.
Oh yeah.
And I
Definitely
think,
was.
I don't know, I think that's where they went wrong with Chad Gable, and I think having him still not have like a singles title reign, I mean, it's just, what are they doing?
Though I feel like they're gonna do it eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
I don't want to say this feels like gimmicky, but what they're doing with him kind of feels gimmicky to me right now. Just slightly, I
It's
think
like
he
the Blue
deserves-
Blazer thing where he's just trying to like become somebody that he really
Yeah.
isn't.
Yeah.
But hopefully, even with this, he would hopefully have like an actual singles title
Hopefully
on
it
his
builds
belt.
up wins and that gives him momentum to a title.
Word.
So with Rey Fenix though, just recently joining the WWE, coming from another company, and in that other company he was a tag team with Penta. Do we see them coming back together, or do we see? Because you said Rey Fenix going to the LWO. I don't think Penta joins the LWO. So which side do you
not.
think he takes in that story?
It just depends on how they actually do have him go. Because I kind of do see them coming back together down the line, but
I feel like they want to. I really like watching Penta in singles competition right now.
Yeah.
So I personally feel like having him continue that would be smart, but definitely eventually a future storyline, having them two meet up again would be
Definitely.
We're gonna move on to the next night one WrestleMania match, the WWE Women's Title match between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. Does Charlotte Flair retire this year after this loss, and how many more title opportunities do we think she's gonna have?
Hopefully she retires. But
How old is Charlotte now?
I think she's like 38, 39.
Okay,
I
okay.
think she's around
She's
there.
already at 14 title reigns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Yeah.
how much more she needs.
How many more? Like, it feels like every time they bring her back, it's only for title.
Yeah.
It's almost like they don't want to give her just a good story match.
And it shows it from like the last 5 years.
It's only like it seems like almost only title matches for her.
Word.
So it's like I was gonna ask, do we think she even has other matches? But WWE doesn't do that with her. It seems like so.
I
Hope-
feel like at some point they have to keep her involved. Maybe not title matches. Maybe get her on the mic a little bit, somewhat. I mean, we've seen her on the mic versus Tiffany Stratton before this match. I thought she was pretty good on the mic. So I mean, maybe cut a promo, start somebody else, go for a lower title, maybe something like that.
Something I will say about that match, I thought it was a pretty decent match. Going into the match, I thought it was gonna be disappointing, but I didn't think the match was too bad. I thought Tiffany Stratton lost a tooth in that match. I'm not gonna
She
lie.
could have.
I
Oh,
swear, I looked at her after the match. I'm like, yo, something's wrong with her face.
the little bruise up here.
Yeah, that too. What do we think about Tiffany Stratton right now, though?
I think she definitely.
Don't get me going. I love Tiffany Stratton, man.
I think honestly, as her career develops, she definitely deserved that win and to hold the title over her because it really shows the power that Tiffany has over one of the most decorated women championships of all time. So
She's also the future. Of
she
women's-
is the future of the women's.
Which
division.
she is kind of doing a good job at, but honestly, I really don't know what to say. But still, I really think that Tiffany Stratton is doing good. Long story short,
Yeah.
I really think that Tiffany Stratton is gonna have one of those. I kind of want to say Roman Reigns careers because at the beginning, I know he's getting all these titles, but he's not that great on the mic. And honestly, she's kind of underwhelming on the mic to me. So if she can develop that skill, she definitely has the opportunities to be the best.
I don't know if I fully agree with that, but I kind of see what you're saying. I don't think she's horrible on the mic.
Yeah, no, not at all. But she's not better than some of the women wrestlers in current day.
I think it's more chemistry with her. I don't think her and Charlotte had good chemistry, which I thought they would have when Charlotte won the Rumble. But it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. So now we're gonna move on to the main event of night one, the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins winning the match.
I'm gonna clap that match up real quick.
Paul Heyman betrayed CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman has now aligned himself with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. And do we think that this group is like a new evolution?
yes. With the way that there's Seth, the current day star of the company, bringing in the future of the WWE, Braun Breaker, I feel like that they can actually bring somebody
It almost
else in
feels
there. So
overpowered in a sense, like a WWE 2K, but you just
Right? You just throw
it's like-
these two together
yeah.
and just hope they win. And then
Hope they get it.
How
Yeah.
many more members do you think they're gonna add though?
probably like
I feel like only
one or two.
One or two.
I feel like two.
Because
is too
if
much.
we feel like it's a new evolution, I feel like Paul Heyman plays that Ric Flair role, and
Yeah.
then we got these two young guys with a veteran. You know what I
Word.
mean?
I think they need at least one more person.
I would
though.
say like
Definitely.
I would say two more, mainly because I really have like two personal picks. One of them mainly being Finn Balor, because you saw how he might potentially get kicked out of Judgment Day with the way they're going on.
Yes.
He might actually bring Finn Balor in
I
as a
never
favor.
even thought about Finn, but that's a very good.
Because let's be real, he's been on the back burner for
Can we just give Finn
years.
something?
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
Years.
I have a couple. I have a hot. I don't know if this is really a hot take.
Could we
I have a
see
slight
Finn beating Jag?
No,
Do you guys
I
see
could.
that?
no.
I think it's gonna happen. Absolutely not. Could I see it? Yes, I could see it if they brought back like Demon Finn.
That's
Thing is, though,
never
is, like, with
happening.
Jay,
That's never
Jay
gonna
is
Never
so
happening.
over with the crowd and with the fans that it's gonna be hard to see him lose to someone. You know what I mean? He has that popularity. Everybody in the stands loves him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be hard for him to lose a match, honestly.
I'm
Definitely.
gonna say something. I want to hear what your guys' opinion is.
Okay.
I thought that this year's WrestleMania overall was slightly disappointing. I thought some of the middle card matches were good.
Compared to last year.
Yeah, last year's was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like I would have been a little bit happier with this WrestleMania if you switched the main events around, like night 1 and night 2.
Oh, yeah,
Just
for
based
sure.
off of the ending.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the John and Cody fight later. Obviously, we all think that's a very disappointing match. I was disappointed at night 2.
I was
felt like if
appalled.
I was how
Yeah,
I was
you were.
feeling at the end of night 1, at the end of night 2, I'd probably feel better about this WrestleMania. But yeah, I just felt like those two main events should have been switched around just based off of how they ended.
I do have a question too here. Do you guys think that Seth is truly the right winner of this match? Do you guys think that Seth is the future of the WWE for the next few years?
Yes, because
I think so.
If you look
Sorry, I
at
think
it-
so.
If you look at it, Roman Reigns he can do anything. He just had that long title reign. He could do anything. He wins. He can win anytime. CM Punk, you could make an argument for because it's his first main event. He hasn't won anything meaningful, I guess you could say, recently. But Seth, the past you could say past 5-10 years, he's been in and out work, like just putting in the work, so you could say that's why he deserves this match.
I think.
mean- Go ahead.
I think Seth Rollins. Not Seth. I think CM Punk is. I think he should win a world title before he retires. Again.
Oh yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Has he? Well, he's been with. Him and Seth have been going at it now.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe CM Punk's the guy that dethrones Jay.
I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
To me, picturing that, it's a weird match in my head.
Yeah.
But
it's a
some
really
point-
unlikely outcome.
I mean, we've seen what Seth can do to CM Punk and Roman Reigns. I mean, we've even seen what Seth and Braun did to Roman Reigns and CM Punk. At some point, I feel like they can maybe create like a mutual bond, not really form a team, but do something to take Seth down. So at some point, I don't think CM Punk could take that title off of Jay because of the relationships that he has with the family now.
Right.
is that everything for night 1?
So.
Or you want to move on to night 2?
Yep. Night 2 of WrestleMania, Sunday. The first match of the night, we have the women's world title match. Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky and Bianca Belair. Io Sky obviously coming out on top. Now, can we agree that this may have been the best match of the night?
Should have main evented that.
Yes.
I think this
Yes.
This match
Yes.
was so great that it could have been a main eventer.
Absolutely.
I think it very much should have. This match was more exciting than the John Cena and Cody Rhodes fight.
Oh,
it really
yeah,
was.
absolutely.
I mean, looking back at it now, definitely would agree with that. That match, I have so many mixed. The match, I loved the match in terms of like action and everything, but like mixed feelings and how, like, I'm the winner and losers of it because they've been like saying like people have been overlooking Io, which obviously I have. I mean, I think she does awesome things. I like her matches, but I personally just like Bianca even more than her. So maybe that's why I'm a little biased over
I'm
this.
starting to become an Io Sky fan now,
Me too,
though.
me
I'm
too.
starting to
Yeah,
like her.
it's like
I'm
that
starting to
when
like
she
her.
won,
Put some
I was
respect on
like,
some
man,
Io.
I'm starting to like her here.
People are finally starting to realize how catchy her theme is, how catchy her entrance is. I mean, she has one of the best entrances in the WWE.
It's even crazy it took people this long to actually give some acknowledgement to Io. Because she's, I ain't gonna lie, listen, after her cash in 2023, I've been hooked on her ever since that
And I
night.
felt like that title reign was they did her dirty kind of.
Kinda,
I felt
yeah.
Like they disappointed. That was a bit of a disappointing title reign, in my opinion.
But still,
But this
I
one
like
has been already way more exciting. I think just off of the way that WrestleMania match ended, that really pushed her to the fans. And
She definitely deserves it, though. First Japanese woman to win a WWE World Title. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, I mean, it's good for her.
Yeah.
She really deserves it.
Yeah, but before we actually head on to it, with her winning this, do you think that we would see any? Do you think that we would be seeing Asuka or Kairi Sane come back and actually try to challenge her for the championship?
I don't think challenge it. Maybe congratulate her and help her. I don't think really challenge her.
Yeah, I don't think challenge. I can't
I
really
mean,
see
that'd be a
it.
cool surprise. Maybe they side with her and then they kind of pull like a Becky and turn on her afterwards.
I mean, you have to realize too that there's so many women in this division that are so great that can take this title. I mean, we have Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. Like, there's
It
so
feels
many
so
great
weird
wrestlers.
Not seeing them two with the title.
Right?
It just feels weird when I see it.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
But, you know, fight number 2 of the night. We got the Sin City Street fight. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre coming out on top.
I'm happy he won.
Yeah, me too.
I am too.
If I seen him lose that, I would have lost it. If I seen him lose another match, 'cause I'm like,
Oh yeah.
what are we doing, guys? This
Yeah.
guy's
McIntyre
like
definitely-
world heavyweight championship material here.
Definitely deserves that
Don't get me
push.
wrong. Listen, Drew. Yo, you might go to this generation, but I just gotta tell you, bro, that match was man. I gotta tell you, bro.
I mean, we have to bring up the fact
I thought it
that
was gonna be longer.
The end got a little better. Beginning of it all and the middle of the match.
It was just sort of underwhelming for like
Okay.
a street fight of
I mean,
a match.
you gotta bring up too that this match had no storyline. There was no really besides last year at WrestleMania. That's the one storyline you could bring up. There was no lead up to this match at all.
That's
Yeah.
the issue with this year's WrestleMania is I felt like a lot of storylines weren't ready to be had at
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
had yet, yeah,
And
yeah.
they wanted people like Drew and Damian at WrestleMania, so they gotta take something, like make something, like make nothing out of something, you know, or make something out of nothing. Sorry.
I just generally feel like that this WrestleMania was just half baked.
Yeah,
'Cause-
definitely.
Because there was most of the card had matches with just no storyline whatsoever, and
Like-
most of them that did actually
Most
have
of them were
storyline.
made like the last month.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, the last 2 weeks.
Like yeah, even that. It's like
Like, other-
besides the Cody and John, which felt like that was the only match they were focused.
Yeah, other
on.
than the Cody and John match and the triple threat of night 1,
But like even the triple threat of night 1, we didn't find
most
out
of them
before,
just felt rushed and just
like a few weeks.
underbaked.
Yeah.
Some of them are definitely going to be used for the future, though. Like, I mean,
Oh yeah.
they're definitely going to reuse the women's title match. Maybe Damian does something with Drew again. But
I
don't
feel like
really
that has
see
to be
it.
the end of the.
That yeah, I
like
feel
that
like
has to be
Drew
the
has to get that push towards a singles champion. Maybe not the heavyweight, but a singles champion at some point.
He needs something. I mean,
Yeah.
after I don't like I remember when it comes to like him winning the Money in the Bank briefcase and then loses that and loses at Clash of the Castle, loses. I'm pretty sure he lost another time too. He lost, what was that? I can't remember, but like he's gotten so many losses at this point. Like
He's got cashed in on.
he
He
needs.
lost to Jimmy Uso.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give
It
him
was insane.
something.
That's the worst part of it too.
I mean,
It was
a match between Drew and Jacob Fatu for the IC match would be.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good.
Ready to move on?
I think so. Yeah.
Third match of the night, we have the Intercontinental Title Fatal 4-Way match with Dominic Mysterio coming out on top versus Finn Balor, Penta, and Braun Breaker.
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. I said something.
Balor.
I said something about this match last week. I think I had some trust in Dominic Mysterio, and everyone here shut me down on that.
Listen,
What happened here, guys?
I own multiple
I-
Dominic Mysterio shirts. I will admit that. I do.
will apologize
What happened here, guys?
to Evan
I
DalPorto for not believing
I was
in
te-
Dominic Mysterio.
I was texting
He
a lot of people. during that.
I instantly got a text from DalPorto.
We were texting a lot during
You
like
guys-
every match.
He's pointing at me, but I'm gonna keep it 10 toes down. I'm gonna admit, I didn't expect
Dude.
Dom to win. I didn't expect Finn to win neither. But I'm gonna say this right now. I think Finn had some screws loose in his head when he was thinking about pushing Dom off the top rope. But honestly,
Can we talk about something too?
I
real quick?
really like that match. I'm not gonna
Is
lie.
Dominic
It wasn't bad.
Mysterio the greatest Mysterio of all time? Can we talk about that? In
Not
my
yet.
opinion.
Not
In my
yet.
opinion.
Not yet.
He's there.
I need some reasoning here.
You need some reasoning?
Over Ray?
Look at the mullet. Look at the hair.
Here's the thing: you
Look at
go,
the luscious
you
face.
go up
Look at
to
the mustache.
anyone on the street and you ask them like who Rey Mysterio is and who Dominic Mysterio is. Most of them are gonna know who Rey Mysterio is. And I feel like Dominic can get to that point, right? But right now, you ask anyone, they're gonna know who Rey is over Dominic.
Okay, so let's ask.
I
I'll
just
ask
feel like
you
it's
that then.
too early for Dominic to even say that. As much as I definitely, I'm a big fan of him. But
Rey Mysterio, definitely the greatest luchador of all time, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. At some point, do we think Dominic passes him then? At some point in the future, if he has
Yes.
a really long career.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Probably
Oh
so.
yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Just based off like the start of Rey's career and the start of Dominic's career, you can already see the trajectory of Dominic's, and he's gonna have a great career. And I can't wait.
I wanted to bring up a big, not really a big problem I have with this match, but a problem I had with this match. So we see this Intercontinental 4-way match and that Women's World Title match. They had the same exact finish. Did anybody realize that? At the finish of both of them, somebody got pushed off the top rope, and then somebody hit a frog splash.
It was almost a
You're
frog
right.
splash.
Yep.
You're right.
Both matches ended with somebody getting pushed off the top rope, frog splash and pin.
I could have sworn EO won with a moonsault.
No, she off the top rope splashed Rhea Ripley pinning.
It's
and then won.
either way, it's a similar ending.
That's why I had that problem.
Stratton won with the prettiest moonsault.
That's a mind screw right there, bro.
That was night one though.
You see,
And then-
it's nobody really realized it. I realized it yesterday that those two had that same exact.
I gotta
finish.
rewatch it.
Yeah.
But we'll go to next up. Next up, we have Randy Orton versus Joe Hendry. Randy Orton getting the W there.
Say his name. and
Props to
he
Joe Hendry.
appears.
Do we think?
Believe in Joe Hendry.
Do we think Joe Hendry gets that main call up soon to that main roster?
I think they're gonna continue to use him the way they've been using him.
At
have him
TNA?
rotating through TNA,
Yeah.
NXT, and the main roster. I think that's best for him because I feel like limiting him to just one show is not right. And like just between like this year, Royal Rumble surprise, WrestleMania surprise, like those are like awesome to see.
That's why I'm wondering though, because he's so over that. I mean, WWE has to take advantage of that.
Right.
They have to at some point.
I feel like he has to lose. He still has the TNA
still has the
title, right?
TNA
So
title.
I feel like he has to
And with
lose
that,
that.
it's highly likely they might just sign over to WWE with how over he is. And plus, even if he doesn't, we can still see him in some mini feuds, just like how we saw him have a mini feud with Ethan Page back in NXT.
Yes.
It's gonna be hard though, because like you said, if we want to move him up to that main roster, he has to lose that TNA belt, and
Which
there's
he
nobody
could
in
just-
TNA that can beat him right now.
I don't know TNA off the top of my head
Me neither.
that well, but
Could
if
be
they
Moose.
have it where like he gets
Moose is a little old. Moose is a little too old.
where he has he's in a one-on-one match and someone like screws him and
Yeah.
has him lose the match.
But, props to Joe Hendry. Congratulations, man.
The,
Happy for you.
the surprise.
First WrestleMania. You know?
Yes,
First
the
WrestleMania.
surprise was the best part of that match.
TNA champion in
Obviously,
WrestleMania
Randy
before
was gonna
GTA
win it.
6,
So. When he turned around though and did that smile and hit that RKO out of nowhere, I was like, oh wow,
That was good.
damn! I was like, that fast.
It was really funny.
So next up, fifth match of the night, we have a singles match between AJ Styles and Logan Paul. So first thing I'm gonna bring up, guys, is Logan Paul truly a better wrestler than AJ Styles to win this match? To win this match?
No, no.
Because at
No.
some point, I don't mean wrestling. I mean, is AJ Styles is he not his A game anymore? Is he too old now to win against Logan Paul?
I
Or
wouldn't say he's too old.
where do they take Logan
I
Paul?
mean, it wasn't a clean match, so I feel like you can't really say that. I mean, the ending of the match was,
It was kind of twisted.
yeah.
I mean, if we look at all Logan Paul matches, though, it's never a clean match, and he usually loses still. So for him not to be a clean match, and to win,
agree. I mean,
I'm
he's
just
definitely
saying.
been getting better.
does he get the title soon? Like he deserves
What title?
a title.
No.
He just had a title. What do you
No.
mean?
He had the U.S. title and he
That
barely
was-
even defended
That
bro.
was close to a year ago, guys. You realize that? That was SummerSlam
He
last
had
year.
over 100
Yeah, and I
games,
haven't
only defended
barely
like 3
seen him.
times.
Like 3
If I can
times.
see him on like a normal basis, sure.
Well, here's the thing. He finally signed that contract though,
Prove
to
it.
make him
Prove
show
it.
up more.
Prove it.
What do you mean,
Prove it. Prove it. Go prove it.
Okay,
I'm gonna be
Prove
honest. I do watch Logan Paul vlogs. He did sign the contract.
want
He
the
did
source.
sign the
I know
contract
he
with
signed the
Hawks.
contract.
Logan Paul- I've been
but
watching Logan
where's
Paul
he
vlogs
been
for a
at?
while.
Where's the
he been at?
source?
He's
yeah.
been training.
Oh.
He's been in the lab.
He has
Oh,
been
yeah?
in Puerto Rico.
All right, I do have one more question for you guys.
Okay.
Which do you think boosted his career more though? His YouTube career or his wrestling career? Which boosted his career to superstar famous?
I feel like this is a bit unfair because if he didn't do YouTube, I don't think he would have
He's
been
had-
there.
Been wrestling.
Yeah.
And he is a good athlete, and maybe if he just didn't do YouTube, he could have became a WWE superstar on in another
He could have become
timeline,
a
you know?
wrestler, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
Um,
mean, those gymnastics. I mean, he has the skill.
Yeah,
obviously.
but I just feel like to
Okay.
say that I just feel like without the YouTube part of it, he wouldn't have even done anything he's done now. So I feel like that really
You have to
helped
say
him.
the YouTube
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
You got to put his YouTube career.
It,
in there.
it definitely boosted his career, that's for sure, and make him
Oh, yeah.
known more worldwide. But YouTube helped.
Prime.
Yeah.
Prime.
Prime.
Oh yeah, that's.
Main sponsor of WWE. Prime.
I mean, his
Well,
boxing
that would be
matches,
because he
even
fought
though they're
KSI
not
from
that
his
great,
YouTube
but,
career.
Yeah.
So I would say definitely
It would
YouTube
definitely
boosted him.
boost his career.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the sixth match of the night. We have the women's tag team title match with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch.
I'll be honest with you. A few things. One, I was confused on why they had this match right before the main event.
Yeah.
And I feel like they try to have underwhelming matches right before the main event
it?
to boost the main event.
Yeah, I can agree with
To
that.
to me, that didn't help, and that didn't happen.
It
Like
didn't.
either way you look at it, because one, I felt like the tag match was, to me it was mid, maybe even below mid. Also, I feel like they had it there because of the Becky Lynch return, which is cool.
But they could have saved that for the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they created the storyline though, because you have to look at it like you said. The Raw after WrestleMania, Lyra Valkyria and Becky won here, and then lost at the Raw after WrestleMania, and that let
Which-
Becky turn heel then.
Yeah, I do like that part of it because people are like, well, they just won the titles, they're not going to lose it, and then they lost it. I like
Lost
that
it
because it's
immediately.
unpredictable. You know, some people are mad about that. I'm okay with that because it shows that you can lose a title at any point, which I think we need more of in WWE. Considering the past 4 years, we've had a lot of the same champions.
Yeah, but they could have
yeah.
they could have done that with a different title because I just don't like the way how they're handling the women's tag titles. Because one, they're barely defended, and two, even if they are defended, it's 100%, almost 100% guaranteed that they will just lose the title to a whole different person.
Yeah.
They always seem like they're filler, like they're using filler matches.
Word.
Well,
There
at
probably was
some
a film
point
of
too,
that.
I realized that in my opinion, if Becky Lynch didn't return here and Bayley didn't get hurt and Bayley kept her spot in that match, I think the match could have been better.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think Bayley is a better wrestler than Becky
I
Lynch.
just
Oh,
felt
And there's definitely a better chemistry between Bayley and Lyra
I just
than Lyra and
felt
Becky.
watching that match why is Becky even there almost? You know, it just felt confusing almost.
And they could have even had Bayley turn heel. I wouldn't even been mad.
Honest, I wouldn't have been upset with that. Next up, we have the main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania.
This is gonna.
Yeah.
Cody
Cody versus John Cena, with John Cena taking the W and getting the belt.
Now,
Don't-
before
don't
we
even
get
Italian
into
going, bro.
before we get into any
You're
controversial
a little off.
arguments here, do we at least
We made you stand for this one.
do we at least who do we think at least should have won?
Cody.
One by one.
Cody
Cena.
Rhodes, the American Nightmare.
I wouldn't mind.
I think Cena should have
Yeah,
won.
I mean, I agree.
In my opinion, I honestly wanted them to wait, make Cena lose, make Cena everybody become sad for Cena, and make Cena win the Money in the Bank or something crazy, something nobody would expect, and then cash in. That's what I wanted to see Cena
I
do.
thought the route they were gonna go was he keeps losing title matches and opportunities, and maybe they'll give it to him towards the end. I'm okay with him winning in what he's done the past few weeks or week or so on Raw and SmackDown because I really like the future matches he can have with the title in the way he's like, oh, if I keep this title when I retire, then it's gone forever. I kind of like that because that brings urgency to the roster to be like, hey, we have to beat this guy, you know? And I don't think Randy's going to beat him. I don't.
Really?
You think he's going to lose instantly?
To Randy, yeah.
I feel like that's too obvious.
Randy's his biggest villain of his entire career.
I agree. I think it's perfect.
He
I
could
think
actually
it's
hit
too.
the
I think
corner
it's
Cena.
too perfect.
I think that's Cena's retirement match.
I think if you get,
I think-
if you
But he
If
still
he
has
loses,
like
he's
he still
gone.
has the whole year.
Maybe
He still has 20-something dates scheduled.
maybe Randy
That's
loses.
why, like,
thought he said he was done after WrestleMania.
no,
now he's-
it was
now- now
retirement
he's
year.
extending
It's the
it.
retirement
Now he's
year, buddy.
extending it.
It's the retirement.
Cena still said he has 19 more appearances
Yeah.
before he leaves the
So
WWE.
I mean, that's not that many. So
Well, I mean,
maybe.
we're close to halfway into the year here, so you got to look at it. It
That
is
is
kind
true.
of a lot.
So
Maybe-
maybe.
Maybe Randy loses and he turns back into like Crash Out Randy Orton, like, kicking everybody.
I mean, I get what you
And
guys
then
are
Then
saying.
they face again, and then Randy does win.
Because if they have Cena win, then it's like you have to have someone beat him, right? 'Cause you can't have him take the title, right?
I do want to say this too. We're saying Cena. Where does Cody Rhodes go from here?
I
Where
think
does
he,
Cody Rhodes
I
go?
think he turns
Hopefully
heel.
back where he belongs.
I think he turns heel.
He's
and
the
I
American
think
Nightmare. He
Yeah,
deserves to have a
actually,
title on him. Where does he go? Does he go for?
it deserves.
Does he go for Jay?
I don't
Does
know-
he
I
go
don't
back
know-
to
I don't
Cena?
know what you mean
What
by
does he do?
deserves.
He definitely deserves to have a title on him.
I don't think he doesn't deserve it, but
Go some endurance.
back of the line.
Because
You
I don't
know.
understand.
Really? You think back to
Yeah,
the line?
Go back to
I
where
think
he
I think
belongs.
he can have other look at what happened when after WrestleMania 39 when Roman beat him that first time. He had all those storylines with Brock and other people before he had the other match with
Give his
Roman.
title back. Give him his title back.
Listen, maybe I don't know, man.
You
I
better go
just
some
feel like
endurance before you actually go back
Phil,
for it, though.
I will run with you.
you know what?
Georgia.
You know what? Maybe he's gone for a while. You have Randy beat Cena, and then you have Cody and Randy go at it.
It would be nice.
That would be a good match
That'd be
though because
good.
Randy brought Cena up, or Randy brought Cody up.
That's what I mean.
So that could be a great match.
That was
for
the
them
match
to-
I thought we were gonna get with Cody having the
It
title
would be nice
originally
to
too.
see maybe Cody have to get through The Rock to get to John Cena, but of course we all know The Rock's not going to actually show up. So-
That's another thing. This is why I'm saying I'm okay with the outcome of the match, but the overall match was very disappointing.
Especially the ending.
I was okay with the slow pace.
What was Travis Scott doing there?
That too?
I just want to know
That's-
What was
why.
Travis Scott
Like
doing?
what was even going on? I had like friends that aren't they don't watch wrestling a lot, but like watch it a little bit, and they're like, "Is this supposed to be happening?
What is he
Like,
doing?
what's
What-
going on here?
what's he doing?
See a wrestling CW?
No
Is
need.
he like Logan Paul? You know?
There's no need for
There was
him
no
there.
reason for it.
There's no need for him
Can we
there.
get Travis Scott and Bad Bunny in a
Yo.
match? My bad.
This dude,
bad.
Bro.
There's no need for him there. Do
Yeah,
There's
I
no
felt
need-
like
you remember?
Rock
what was his
said
name?
he could have been there, and he just
I don't
felt,
understand why he didn't.
he felt like he wanted the focus to be on Cena and Cody, which I get
That's an
that.
excuse.
I get that,
I
but
don't care.
yeah, it's like
Show up.
yeah.
Show up to you, bro. Show up to you.
That would have
You
made
were the
that
reason
match-
Show
why-
up to the thing you caused, bro.
You were the
If
reason
I,
why
yeah,
he
exactly,
didn't get
exactly.
in the
If
first
I
place.
seen Rock and Travis Scott, I mean, I wouldn't have even cared because Rock.
I wouldn't have been
was-
mad if it was Rock and Travis. If,
Even
Just
if he
Travis
actually
Scott.
interfered.
Hey guys,
It
at
was
some
so
point,
confusing because
If so we see this not really team, but we see Rock, Cena, Travis. At some point, do we see them have a storyline with this new evolution?
It would be another evolution, but yes. Because matter of fact, I was
That's
talking
tough
to one of
to
my
say.
friends about this yesterday. If they can actually add another member, or it's just going to be them three, I was just talking about them having like their own faction called the Higher Ups.
My question is do they have enough time to do that?
No, but it's better than ever, right?
I felt
They only have until the end of the year with John Cena. So.
yeah. I felt when Travis Scott's music hit, and you have him walking out like he's Brock Lesnar going to the Rumble or something like that. You know?
Crowd did not go that crazy.
Yeah, like you have him walking out like he's this monster about to really change the game. You know, like I'm like, oh, it's Travis Scott. Oh, watch out, Cody. You know.
I was waiting. I was on the edge of my seat, like, okay, here comes Rock.
You know, I'm like, oh, Travis Scott. Someone else will come out, maybe take Travis out, and then Rock will come out. You know, be upset.
Help him
And then nothing happened.
Nothing.
Then
Zero.
you have
A
a
bonk.
single title shot to
Bonk
the head of
head.
Cody.
Yeah, one.
That was, yeah, no. We really think that Cody, the guy that beat Roman Reigns, is taking a single title
You're
shot
the
to the head
same
and then he's
dude.
out.
Yeah, you was the same
I really
dude
felt
too.
like they should have really really destroyed Cody there. Like
I want
Like-
to see Cena hit AA,
yeah,
five knuckle
like
shuffle.
AA
I
off
wanna
the
see-
top
I wanna
rope,
see him
roll
do
up
all
into
that.
another one.
We only
Yeah.
saw like
you know?
one 5-knuckle shuffle that night.
Like that was,
Yeah.
it was a very disappointing.
I actually saw like it was a TikTok video, and it was supposed to be funny, but I didn't even realize how kind of real this was. It was supposed to be Roman Reigns saying it took a legend being the Undertaker and 4 other Hall of Famers being like John Cena, all these other guys to beat me. You lost because of Travis Scott. And
And a bonk to the head.
and even though that was supposed to be funny, I mean,
It's all
it's so true though. Like what are we doing with that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, they can't. They got to fix this. They have to do something to fix
But
this.
my question is, how are they actually going to be fixing that? There's no way to I don't think there would be any way to actually repair him off of that.
Yeah.
Unless he actually beat somebody else in a street fight or somebody. But
Yeah.
listen, bro.
We have anything else we want to talk about, guys?
Oh, something I actually want to talk about.
What are your thoughts about the future match between Orton and Cena at Backlash?
I'll be honest. Some people are upset about it because we've seen it so many times, but I'm okay with
I
it
like the
because
booking.
yeah,
I like it.
they've had good chemistry.
And how
and
big
this
Randy's
is-
gotten
Yeah.
lately.
Both coming off a win at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Mhm,
that
exactly.
too. They're both like they have a long history together, you know. And Cena's retiring this year. Randy, who knows how long he has too. So it's like it's kind of good. It's kind of cool to see them go
But
at it
could we
one
see
last
Randy
time.
introduce his son? Because his son is starting to develop a little more.
But if they did, it'd
Eventually.
be weird
I
because
could see
I don't think if Randy's son comes to WWE, I don't think he should be introduced as
He's still
another
young.
Orton. Just because the fact that we've seen what they did with Dominic Mysterio, and I don't think they should have a rerun of that.
Right.
So,
Probably just like dabble them into like
Dabble 'em
somewhere
in.
like Evolve or
I mean,
maybe start with
Randy's
NXT,
father
yeah,
kind of did that with him,
he did.
Every,
and I just kind of feel like Randy, I don't think they have to go at like fight each other.
Well,
So I
you
think when he eventually comes in, Randy can kind of be like a
It's interesting
Like a
though
figurehead
because
more than a
if
wrestler.
we look at it right, Randy's dad introduced Randy into WWE,
Right.
and then he
so
joined
it'd be
Evolution.
very fitting to have.
See, now we have Randy's son coming into WWE, and we have a new Evolution creating. Do we see that maybe somewhat happening? Can we see Randy's son into a new
can see
Evolution
that happening.
with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker?
I could.
It depends on how long this faction lasts.
Yeah, because they have to definitely develop quick for a good-looking storyline. Because this Braun Breaker Braun Breaker and Seth versus Roman and CM Punk is not gonna last if it's just them over and over and over.
Yeah,
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
One thing I noticed, there was a few names left off the card that I was kind of surprised. I mean, Carmelo Hayes. I know he won the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but I feel like he should have been on there. I feel like Sheamus should have been on there.
I
feel
I
like-
agree with Sheamus.
Even though Rusev did come back at the Raw after WrestleMania, I feel like they could have put him in there.
Yeah, he could have been the mystery opponent.
One
for-
thing
Yeah,
I
I
will
feel-
say is the reason they have them on the Friday night before Mania or the Raw after Mania is to give them that spot because they don't have enough space on Mania.
I feel like there was some big names in there who wasn't. Sheamus is one of them. I'll admit I'm a little biased when it comes to Sheamus because he's one of my favorite wrestlers. But well, why wasn't he on there?
He puts on good
That's a
matches.
3-time world champion who's been in the company for
almost like 20. 20
almost
years
20
now.
years.
And
He
it's
debuted in
like
2009.
he
so
hasn't
almost-
won. He's been trying to win the IC title
Yeah,
for a while, and
I don't know. I feel
it's- I think it's gonna be tough for him to win that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
We have anything else to talk about? Or?
One last thing I do want to say, Karrion Kross deserved to be on there. Karrion Kross deserved to be on there. He is a great promo. He's a great talker. He's won a couple of matches over the last couple of weeks, and he deserved to be there. I mean, he's one of my favorite wrestlers right now, and he should have been on that card.
Something I do want to ask is Randy Orton's punt kick's been teased the last few months. Do we think that the first punt kick will be against Cena?
I hope so.
Maybe
think-
awesome.
I think it could be against Cena, but not delivered to Cena. I think maybe
Oh, Lord,
Randy
how do
hits
I
like
get
a
out of
punt kick to like
I
The
think
Rock
if
or something.
Cena-
stupid, you know what I mean?
I think if Randy,
Glasses right
I want to see Crash Out Randy Orton again.
I bet you do.
wow. 1, 2,
I would love to see it. Whoa. Whoa.
I mean, sorry, out of here.
See if
Oh, he gone.
But you know,
I think if Cena
definitely.
loses the match, it has to end with a punt kick. But I think that's gonna wrap up this episode of Triple SL. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Like, subscribe, comment, and see you guys in the next one.